So here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for filmmaking came from, because you've done so many amazing, or you produced so many different movies over your years. Was a certain movie that inspired you to get into the industry, or performance, something that was just natural for you?
Well, first of all, obviously everybody's inspiration is Star Wars. Yeah, behind you. Um, I'm a big sci-fi geek. Actually, a lot more than horror. Sci-fi. I grew up. I think Terminator was like the one movie that really kind of blew my mind and scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's normal. Is it normal as a kid or a teenager to have nightmare because of Terminator?
Terminator? You're the first I've heard, actually.
Yeah, I had,
I
especially
had nightmares about Optimus Prime dying in the original
no,
Transformers
sorry,
movie.
sorry. I meant Terminator, not Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
Transformers, yeah, no, I liked Transformers when I was a kid, but I did own an Optimus Prime. I have to say, it's probably some sort of genre rite of passage, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you had to
But
figure out how to transform it on your own too, which was hard for me.
yeah, tell me, how is your site? Is this are you a podcast or I'm sorry?
Well, we are a website, YouTube, and podcast. So yeah.
Okay, so you're doing video or?
I'm doing video for my YouTube channel, and then the audio
I
goes on the podcast. So yeah.
Hi, Bionic Buzz. How are you?
Oh, and you got that Turbo Kid T-shirt on. This is great.
Oh yeah.
Shirt on. Yeah.
I have. This is my office here at very COVID appropriate office at home.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by some fun stuff. I have. Oh, here.
Yeah, if you want to give a little tour.
Yeah, this is a Japanese.
Oh,
poster.
for Turbo Kid. Oh my goodness, that looks so cool. Yeah.
Right.
And what's the pink car there? It's like animation style or something?
So that's from my friend Mike Disa. He's an animation director. We made a few films together. We actually just literally yesterday finished another film.
Okay.
But something that maybe some people don't know, but my company actually has different labels, and besides making genre and horror movies, I've been also very active in the family and animation space.
Oh, cool. What's the name? The company?
So Entertainment Squad is the umbrella company, but that's less known to people. The Horror Collective is obviously the horror side. Yeah. My company that does family and animation is called Mr. Puppy because, kind of a dog obsessed. And then I have a label called BIGFOOT Film, which is for Jewish and Israeli movies. And everything else kind of falls under, oh, look at that.
Dog Steps too. Yeah, I saw you had a Terrorizes 2 announced. So that must have been under that one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you. If you want to see, I don't know if you can see. Can you see Space Dogs over there?
Oh yeah. Right in the corner.
So so I'm kind of surrounded by that kind of stuff. But just to go back to your question. Funny enough, I made movies as a kid. I was one of those geeks that, in no better way of calling it, we just like took a DV camera and tortured the cat, being a villain from James Bond or something, all that kind of stuff. But I never really planned for a career in entertainment. It was always just a hobby, just being a part of the AV club at high school and making fake commercials for, product that would never talk to us. But I came to LA, funny enough, completely not for the film business. I came to LA to study economics. And I at the time, I was licensed to be a bartender, and I was looking as a job as a bartender. And for the life of me, I could not get a job as a bartender. So I ended up.
That's shocking in LA because there's so many,
It's a really high-paying job, and it's kind of a perfect job because I came here to be a student. I don't know anybody. You're a young man. You want to meet, women. You want to meet friends. You want to meet people in the area where you live and work. And it's nights and weekends, and tips are good. So people don't really, leave those jobs. So unfortunately, I couldn't find a job. So I started working as a personal assistant for a film producer. And that's kind of how I got into the film business. I learned a lot from behind the scenes of both the creative and the business side. And I think the fact that I am, my background is, I made films as a kid. And it's funny that my friend said that he found one of the DV like little cassette that has SNS production, and I completely forgot about it when he went to his parents' house just a few years ago. But you know, I play the guitar, I do all painting, I do also have this creative side, but on the other side, I study economics. I'm a very much Excel type kind of person. So I think having that and having being exposed to both the creative, and I was very lucky to have mentorship and to be exposed to both the creative and the business side of it, I really kind of got into it quickly. And for me, movies as a passion, again, I never, I know a lot of people come to this town because they want to direct, they want to produce, they want to act, they want to do all this kind of stuff. That was never me. I'm really excited about people. And for me, what's exciting about the movie business is that you and I can be right now in a video, on a Zoom, just coming up with an idea, you know, just, hey, you know, we should make this movie or this anthology or whatever. And then tomorrow, you know, we can pay $1,000 to somebody to write a script, you know, and try it out and give them the first, you know, step in the business. And a month later, we have 10 people working pre-production, and 6 months later, we have 100 people working. And, you know, when you look at it after 2-3 years, just by coming up with an idea, we created so many jobs from people, you know, from close to us, you know, writers and directors and PAs and who knows what, to people working restaurants and catering, to people working Germany doing dubbing, you know, or operating a cinema in India, you know, and all of this just because we just came up with an idea and said, like, you know, it'd be funny if we have a big spider and the spider kind of like goes on top of the building like Godzilla, you know, that'd be great, you know. And, you know, 4 years later, you created so many job opportunities and put so much food on people's tables. And for me, that's really the exciting thing about the movie business. I know it's not really a traditional kind of response, but
no, that's why I love asking that question though. Like it's really interesting. You basically kind of accidentally fell into it because just looking at your IMDb, I figured you would have went to college for it. It'd have been like your passion your whole life. But
no, I
really
took
cool.
two film classes. I took film criticism class. I bet it was like film criticism 101 or something like that, and in a film production class at UCLA with Professor Merrill. I wonder where he's now. But yeah, I didn't really study film. I studied, you know, a lot of economics, a lot of business, a lot of accounting, a lot of business law, you know, things like that. That probably would be benefit for me.
Yeah, for a producer, I would say it probably helps a lot. You know.
Yeah, but just kind of transitioning to, you know, stuff that you maybe want to talk about, but the fact that I more look at this as investing in people kind of bring me to SLAXX, you know, and my collaboration with Anne-Marie from Emma Films in Canada, because we made together with my previous company, Turbo Kid and Radio. So this is our third film together. We're in discussion and in various stages for another two. When you find somebody that you have good rapport and they have a good work relationship and you can trust them, it's more about investing in them as individuals as opposed to investing in projects. So for me, with Anne-Marie come to me with a script or a project or says, this is the one I want to do next, are you in and out? You know, I basically invest in her as opposed to a script, because God knows, like, we get so many scripts. You know, when you, if you made half a short in Hollywood, for some reason you're a target, and you know, oh, he knows how to make it. You know, it's enough to be in one festival and start getting scripts from every direction. You know, I
only
once had
imagine.
somebody tweeting me, I swear to God, it was a false synopsis. He tweeted through Twitter for, you know, 160 characters at a time. So it's really not about the project. I would say it's about the people behind it.
Yeah.
Because you can always rewrite a script, you know, but you cannot change the personalities that you work with.
So let's talk about how the concept for SLAXX came together. I mean, what a very unique thing, these killer genes. Like, it looks like it's going to be a really funny and gruesome good time movie, you know?
Yeah, so the movie is very fun. It was created by Elsa Kaplat. That she wrote the script and with her partner, and she brought it again to Anne-Marie. So there was all this work being done before it came to me. So when the project came to me by Anne-Marie, it was already after it's been presented at Frontiers in Canada. I don't know. Do you know about the Frontiers co-production market?
Somewhat, but why don't you explain for anyone who's listening?
Well, let's explain a little bit. So there are these what they call co-production markets, and basically they work. They all work slightly different, but they're very, you know, similar thing that they vet projects and filmmakers, and then the selected ones usually come on a stage. They talk about the project or about what they need. If they need money, usually they need money. They need cast, usually they need cast, or anything like that. And then there is people in the audience that are film festivals, executive producer, distributors, financiers that can come on board. In a lot of those co-production markets, you do a little bit of speed dating afterwards. So each production team kind of have like a little desk, and go shake your hand, send me the script or whatever. They show the lookbook, talk a little bit about yourself. So specifically, this project was made by women in the Frontier probably 3 years ago. Frontier presentation, and Anne-Marie brought it to me when it already had her on board, and also the organizations from Canada. So Canadian government is very supportive of local filmmakers, and there is different funds, from the national fund to the more regional funds in Quebec. So there was already a bunch of partners on board, and really she just kind of needed the last piece. And I told her, we had a good run with Radius and with Turbo Kid, and I know that she's very capable in identifying talent, and also nurturing talent, and make talent, help the talent get their vision to the film. So again, my investment was really in more in Anne-Marie and her team, as opposed to the specific.
Yeah, I love that. It always goes back to the people, and their creative vision. You're investing in the person, not the project. So,
and of course, it's
very
a horror
inspiring, I
comedy.
think, the other filmmakers out there.
And it's a horror comedy, so it's a fun genre. It's a genre that I've been around, from Biggest Spider or Tales of Halloween or a bunch of other ones. So I want to say I know, at least I think I know how to promote it. But it's definitely fun to work on as a filmmaker, as a producer, as production company. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame that I'm sure you're having the same conversation, that movies come out during the time of Corona, have both benefits and, because people are at home and they want to consume content. And I'm sure that you, as many of your, viewers,
I used to just do red carpet interviews. Now everything's over Zoom now. So
everything is on Zoom, but you need the content. On the other hand, you can't, go to the festival. So, it started with South by Southwest being canceled, and ComicCon and Fantastic Fest and BFAN. I was I usually go to Korea for that one. It's a shame. I think the festivals, that's a whole different conversations. They're all scrambling to figure out what is the alternative, or what is the next evolution.
I read this was gonna have this world premiere at a film festival, but now the film festival is delayed a year. Is that what's going on?
So I don't know how much of their format they discuss publicly, but basically the festival is mainly online. So
okay, gotcha.
I think a lot of the festivals, what they do is they figure out platforms that they can allow viewers to buy or see the movie for free or whatever, or with passes, and it's limited to a certain region, because when you have a festival, usually it's restricted to a specific region, and maybe specific seats, so you can have 5 million people just watching the movie for free or something like that. But each festival, I think they're all kind of trying to figure out how to do this. Obviously, it's festivals going into basically the VOD world, and there is, it's a mature business with players like Apple and Amazon and Netflix there. So it's kind of interesting to see how everything falls in place. The Cannes Film Festival, the digital virtual Cannes, just finished. There is a lot of people say it was good to do it. There is some criticism, and and like everything, everything that you're gonna do. 20% lover, 20% haters, and everybody else.
Exactly. There's always gonna be some troll somewhere about something.
Yeah, but I think it's good to create event
absolutely.
around cinema, because it is a product that you consume with other people, and a part of enjoying a film or a TV series is the ability to talk about it and dissect it and argue with people about it. It's funny. Me and my wife, we're now watching Lost because she never seen it, and it's been long enough, and so I could forget some of the plot lines, and it's fun to like watch these things and try to figure out how where is it going, and
Yeah.
I think that to create those events on VOD, there is the technology like with Zoom to create those type of environments so you can still interact with other people while you're staying at home safely.
Exactly. Before I let you go, is there any other upcoming projects you're allowed to talk about or promote? I know you got a lot of different umbrellas and
I'm trying
stuff.
to think what we have. So the Horror Collective is just started releasing movies in February. It's my new company, or my new label for a new company. And right now we have out a few wonderful films. We have a film called Green Light. We have a Spanish movie, the first horror movie from Panama called Diablo Ojo. We
I
have
saw the trailer for that. It was like the
Paris.
witch one, right?
Yes, it's based on folklore or local folklore that I'm not gonna say because I'm gonna butcher with my pronunciation. I'm gonna butcher the way it's supposed to sound, but it's cool because it's when you take local folklore that's been around in Latin America and in Panama for generations, and then you put modern spin on it, and it does include witches and cannibalism and all sorts of creatures and fun stuff. So that's out now. We just released a couple of weekends ago a movie called Two Heads Creek, which is a UK Australian horror comedy, which is a lot of fun. We're coming out with a World War II kind of vampire movie called Blood Vessels coming up, and we have a slasher called The Dare. So we try to have a very interesting mix of different things. We have some serious movies like The Parish that deal with abortion, and demon inside people that involve that without kind of giving too much away. So we have interesting project that we've been released so far. We try to be eclectic and we try to fulfill our mission of supporting independent horror and giving space for voices that maybe would not have gotten as wide releases as possible. Obviously, we cannot put things in theaters. I think The Dare was the last one that came out in a few theaters, but pretty much after that, it's kind of went off the map. But we're looking forward to put movies in cinemas when the world coming, turn back to normal. Hopefully we're gonna get vaccines soon, and have people back in the cinema enjoying the movies
I
together.
miss it. I miss that and concerts, but we gotta stay home and be safe. So
Yeah. I tell you what I don't miss as much is going to restaurants. I actually enjoy cooking at home and staying at home with the dogs and with the wife. It's funny. I know my wife really misses going out, but for me, it's like I enjoy being at home. But going to cinema and concerts. I live right by the Hollywood Bowl,
oh,
and
nice.
this area during the summer, the traffic is just insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's cool when you want to walk there, but probably when you have to drive around with the concert.
Yeah, I usually have guests or people that ask to park here, so not to pay the $25 or $40 whatever it is to park the Hollywood Bowl. But it's been a quiet summer so far, to the quiet season, because the Hollywood Bowl hasn't been active. So we used to go at least 2 or 3 times a season. So definitely looking forward to
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you kind of have to if you live by there. I feel like.
And South by Southwest, of course. It's like I don't know how to do this without going twice a year to Austin to get some barbecue.
Oh yeah, for me, like San Diego ComicCon is my ultimate event to cover, and it's gonna be virtual this year. I'm actually gonna be doing interviews, like I'm like back in a green room, so it's gonna be cool.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, maybe we can do some interviews with some of our talent. But yeah, it's strange. I think we received. I was traveling, and they sent an email about that they either canceling it or you can delay. You can push your ticket to next year or get a refund or something like that. But I haven't looked at it yet. But yeah, ComicCon obviously it's
yeah, they're doing virtual panels and basically everything's over Zoom, so announcements and stuff too. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm excited though, either way.
Yeah, I look forward to going back to go to the conventions and the festivals. It's going to be fun because everybody's going to be so amped to go. So I think once we open again, it's going to be a great few years.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking your time and putting this together until the last minute. I love it. I just got a press release, put it up. I was like, this is great. Let's talk about it. He's like, oh, let's do it.
I know. So we're here. It's easy. right on Zoom.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much. We
man.
really appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Bye bye.